So I have been asked, are you against religion? And my answer is, I am against any system. I am anti any system that would cause me to say, well, that's just the way things are. Okay? Before we get into today's episode, I'm going to break that down. But before we do that, I am Tamara Tamu. This is the Unleashed Alchemy YouTube channel, where on this channel, you move from programming of all kind to spiritual ecstasy, all right? To bring the unseen into the seen, to call heaven on earth, to command heaven on earth. That's what we're about on this channel. So welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, if you're going to be watching the videos, you may as well just hit the subscribe button. Just get it out the way. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Share this with those that you think could benefit from this video, as we are all on our spiritual odyssey. So, what am I talking about here? So many people have asked me, and probably will ask me, possibly people have asked you, are you against religion? I even get the question, do you believe in God? Whatever. So the question about the religion though, are you against religion? And again, I'm going to repeat, I am against or anti any system that would get me to just say, oh, well, that's just the way things are. Religion keeps the control agenda alive. Now, what does that have to do with the statement that I just made? Oh, well, that's just the way things are. Because that statement is so limiting in itself, and it comes from a place of your mind being controlled. Mind control is very easy. When you can simply say, well, that's just the way that things are, you are accepting what is handed to you. You are accepting a story that has been handed to you. You are accepting an idea that has been handed to you. You are accepting a belief that has been handed to you. And that statement, we've all heard that statement, oh, well, that's just the way things are. But is it really? We've heard that statement in every single part of our lives. We can apply it to every single part of our lives. Perhaps we've said it. I know I've said it before. Okay? So, accepting what is handed to us. When we accept something, an idea, a story, a belief, that notion, that story, it then becomes the consciousness that we then live from. That same consciousness then floats out into society, and then everyone lives from that same consciousness, so it's accepted as normal. And when I say everybody or society, you can even reel this back into your family. Let's take the instance of marriage. It could be that in your family, well, everybody gets married. That's just the way things are. Well, perhaps you finding joy in being so fulfilled in your life, marriage may not be included in that for you. But because you have accepted that story, because you have accepted that idea, you go on to get married, kind of thinking maybe you could get used to it, all because, well, that's just the way things are. That's just how we do things. Everybody gets married. And I'm using marriage as an example. It's an easy example, but we can apply that to everything. We can apply it to religion. Bring it back to religion. Well, perhaps most of the time, or at least how I grew up, a religion becomes a family tradition. Okay, then that's also what makes religion so dangerous too. It becomes a family tradition. It becomes one's identity as well. And then everyone just says, well, we're all this, and this you fill in the blank with. Pick a religion. whichever religion you want to put in. Well, that's just how we do things. That's just the way things are. We're all this, we're all that. And it then gets passed down throughout the lineage, where for your soul and what you came here to do, being a part of that religion or any religion, that is not soul aligned for you. Okay? So then what happens is, after people accept this idea, whatever that is, then we develop a justification for belief in that consciousness with, well, that's just the way it is, or well, that's how life is, or well, that's just how the way the world works. Fuck that. When we say that, we have just given away our power so easily. And you see how that mind control is so sneaky? You give away your power every time you say, well, that's just the way it is, or that's just how life is. Let me give you an example. And I've used this example before, but it works perfect for this conversation as well. I was sharing with someone about how I know that my next move is I'll be spending a significant amount of time out of the country, out of the United States of America. Okay. And the first thing that the person asked, oh, well, one of the first things they asked me about health insurance. And I said, well, it is what it is. No, I haven't looked at it, but I'm not worried about it. I'm healthy, blah, blah, blah. And then the individual said, well, at your age, or once you get to, no, they said at your age, and once you get to a certain age, you have to start looking at certain medications for high blood pressure. So not only had this person accepted a belief for a particular ailment, for a particular dis-ease, but they had the age that it should happen. They had the medication that one should be looking for to deal with this ailment. And it struck me. It struck me, but then I was also not surprised. And this is an individual, and this is not a judgment, but this is an individual who has just said, well, that's just how life is. No, that is not. Who said that we have to accept having a dis-ease in your body just because you get to a certain age? But see, that consciousness, that is widely accepted as normal. That is mind control. That is mind control. Okay? So then, we have the mind control, then we have the justification, oh, well, that's just how the way the life is. And then what that does, that justification leads to the stifling of your personal power. And it leads to you avoiding asking certain questions like, wait a minute, do I believe that? I know that's what seems to be normal, but do I believe that? And do I have to believe it? And do I have to accept it? Who said that I have to accept it? Who said that I have to accept that? We'll go back to the health example, that when a person gets to a certain age, that they have to accept that a certain thing is going to take place in their body. Well, if I can accept that, why can't I accept that when I get to a certain age, not only am I going to be healthy, but I am going to be healthier than I have ever been in my life? Why can't we accept the other side? So a lot of times with these stories, it always seems to be something that's unwanted or something on the negative side. Okay? But that's mind control. And anything that would influence us to say, oh, well, that's just the way things are, which is what religion has done. We've talked about in this episode religious programming and the mind control, but religion has influenced mind control into all of society, into all systems. Because if we notice, all systems take that same mind control, justification, and the stifling of personal power. They don't say that, all the systems don't say that, point blank, but that framework is shared by religion, by the educational system, by the workforce, by governmental systems, all the systems, by society. So we have to, in order for us to elevate, to keep elevating our consciousness, we have to start to notice these little mind control games that can be sneaky, and we have to stop it in its tracks. And we can. Why? Because we are powerful. We don't have to accept anything. We came here to be powerful. We don't have to accept anything that would cause us to not question, and that would cause us to take a back seat, and that would cause us to say, well, wait, I'm asking this question, but on this side, here I have this question, but I know over here, this is what is deemed to be normal. No. Let's get back over here and start asking questions. First, ask yourself, do I believe this story? Do I want this story to play out in my life? And you, as the I am, you are the I am in your life. You are the I am that sits above. You're in this world, but you are not of it. You sit above. You are observing. And you, as the I am power, can use your voice, the power of your voice, to cause the external to conform to what you say. You can speak and use your voice so that your body conforms to what you say. You can apply that if you get a cold. You don't have to accept a cold. If you're in a cold environment and it's always in at certain times of the year, we start to hear these messages about, this is flu season. Well, how can it be flu season if none of us believe that it's flu season? Why are we given a season to an ailment? None of that makes sense, but these are the types of things that we have accepted without questioning, okay, wait a minute. Yes, I'm in a cold environment, but I don't have to have the flu. I can be just as healthy in the summertime, in the spring, and the fall, and I can be just as healthy in the wintertime. So you see, these little stories and ideas that we have accepted, we have to start, and that's part of our power, is to start asking those questions. Well, what do I believe? What do I want? What is soul aligned for me? All right. So that is the end of this episode. All right. I wanted to share that with you. We have to start paying attention. It's very important, especially now when these sayings come up, when these ideas come up. Question everything. Ask questions. Okay. I know I keep saying this, but the most important question is, do I believe this? Is this soul aligned for me? Do I have to accept whatever that story is? What do I want to accept for me? All right? For the people that I love and care about, for the world. But you have to do that for yourself first. All right? So, a reminder, I still take clients, okay? I have a 12-session package that I offer, all right? And this is to get you to experience a spiritual revolution in your life so that you can function in your spiritual gifts with full power, full confidence, all right, so that you never second guess who you came here to be and what you came here to do. Programming is not allowed, all right? So to book a call with me, the description link is in the, or excuse me, the link to schedule a call is in the description box of this video. So until next time, cheers.